Chapter 918. Luffy Taro repays the favor.
Ohio, everyone, and welcome to another episode of the Pod-D-Cast. I am the best guy ever, and I am joined by Hypocrite.
Swab the deck. I want to see my face in that wood planks.
You probably have to like enamel it or something in order to get a decent reflection. Probably. Maybe you can use sap. Nature's enamel. Anyway, it's chapter 918. Luffy Taro repays the favor. And before we get to that bullshit, let's just address this little cover page. Guys, we're in the home stretch.
Yes.
Some people were being silly and thought there was like, this is a weird last page. But guys, this is volume 45 of the Tales of the Self-Proclaimed Straw Hat Grand Fleet, volume 45, finale, first half. This is the first of two, clearly. This is the first three guys.
It might be of three.
But it says first half. I mean, that would be very strange if there was a third half.
Oh, you clever language man.
Indeed. But here we've got Donsai, Bartolomeo, and Cavendish. And then I'm sure we'll see the other boys with the next one. And let me see if I can remember. It's probably going to be the big Orlumbus, the giant guy, and Bellamy? Is it going to be Bellamy?
The long arm, long leg guys.
Right, that guy, or those guys.
And also the little guy army pirates.
True, but they're like
dwarf.
I guess you're right. Maybe it's like they put 3 on here, which implies there's going to be 3 on the next one.
That's why I was thinking there's more than like one other one.
It's possible that this whole first half thing is a mistranslation. That's definitely possible. It would make sense if there was 3 of these, I think, and the next one they do like Orlumbus, giant guys, and whoever the fuck else I said, and then they do the little guys, Bellamy, and then I don't know, something else.
Who joins?
Yeah, an Eam. And Eam can make his wouldn't that be hilarious? What if Oda did an Eam face reveal in a hilarious cover arc? That would be great, and probably better than doing it in like the main series, because the cover arcs are better than actual One Piece.
Dude, what if Mr. 2 touched Eam's face?
Whoa.
And then he became the main guy.
You know what that actually reminds me of? There's an arc in part 5 of JoJo that's coming out soon, everybody. Be excited. Where like they're trying to track down Doppio? No. I can't remember his name.
Naruto.
Diavolo. Yeah, Naruto, the head of the Passion gang, and there's a whole arc where one of their characters like is able to see him for a split second and makes an imprint of his face, and like they use that to like track him down. Though actually, as I recall, that plot device does literally nothing. So it was kind of a waste because he may or may not have died in that incident. But
I don't know
what?
JoJo.
Never mind all that shit.
All that.
Let's get to Wan Piss.
Yes.
So chapter 918, here we go. Luffy Taro repaying the favor. What could that be? If you recall last chapter, Luffy did hold him the favor of punching him in the face with fire.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Mm-hmm.
And so now he is straight back into the action. He catches a girl.
He threw away only to catch her again.
O-tama. He catches her. And this is cool.
Why did he throw her just to catch her again?
I mean, I think it's just so because the fiery punch. He didn't want to burn.
It's like
her.
a lot of fire. Okay, all right, fair enough. I guess.
Like I could imagine his whole body goes in a flame, and it's like, well, actually, I haven't seen the anime. I don't know what that looks like. I assume it's like, it is actually flames appear.
There's literal flames. Like there's literal burning that happens.
It's very much, a literal homage, like a very clear to Ace.
Yes, it wasn't done in the manga, but in the anime. Well, actually, I explained this before. In the anime, you actually see Ace's face when they do this in Fishman Island when he does Red Hawk for the first time, even though he's underwater, so it doesn't make any sense. Beyond that, the kanji for Red Hawk. And I believe it is pronounced like Red Hoku, like in like katakana in Japanese. But the kanji is the same as Hiken, Fire Fist, which is Ace's attack. So it is clearly an homage, to Ace. Now, how Luffy makes fire, I do not know. It doesn't make any sense.
It's gear second, but like more.
I want to say that the logic is the same as Sanji being able to generate flames, and I will not accept. And if it turns out that that Sanji can make fire because he is a freakish, genetically engineered monster man, then I will be doubly pissed because of this whole shenanigans. But anyway,
I've always been like a bit like weirded out by like I understand obviously like Luffy making an ace move. To honor his memory would be, that makes sense.
I loved it when I first saw it. Yeah,
it is good. But then we also have Sabo, who is literally has the devil fruit. So like he's already got. Like I would rather just one or the other.
Look, I'm like there's issues with Sabo's character that I've complained about for a long time. But like. You know what I would have preferred? I would have literally preferred if the bad guys got Ace's fruit and then Luffy had to beat him up to like liberate it.
Oh, that would be cool. That would be like some complete asshole on Blackbeard's crew got it, and it's like, ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or like if he had written One Piece differently, like maybe he could have gotten literally Ace's fruit for whatever reason he wanted or something. I mean, I know I'm making some big changes here I'm proposing, but I don't know. That would have been cool. I do agree. It's a little bit redundant.
A little bit.
It's not a big deal, though, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously. That's cool.
But there's a lot of commotion happening. They got the lion, they got the food, they got the ship, they got O-kiku, they got O-tama, they got it all. And they punched
They even got the big bitch. They got the big extra double vagina bitch. They grabbed her, and she loves it. She loves it.
Oh, yes. Speed.
Speed weed.
Yeah, she's a great character. I love her already.
I was gonna complain about her. Okay, but you finish your point first.
Well, I mean, it's funny. It's just like it's a comedy character that is a female, and it's cool. Like she gets grabbed by Luffy, who thinks she's just a horse. He freaks out, and she initially doesn't freak out. She's like, "Oh, who's hugging me, Kia?" Like she's like enjoying it, and then she's like, "Wait a minute, there's someone attacking me, and that's bad."
Okay, that is funny, and I can't appreciate that. But I do want to say, it's weird to me that Speed is a headliner, which Basil Hawkins is a headliner, so it's implied to be a fairly prestigious rank. And, like, without doing, like, anything, like, Luffy just... he doesn't even have to, like, fight her. He simply, like, touches her, and she's already, like, crumbles. Just before even Tama does her, like, cheat mode... fucking use the whatever it's called.
Well, the thing is, I mean, I think the idea of the headliners being big deals, like Basil is like he's like a, perhaps more of a bigger headliner than the others, but like
because Holden also seemed kind of pretty unimpressive.
That's the point. He seemed impressive before, but then they had the cool moment where Luffy is like obviously really strong. And none of the people knew how strong he was, so it was a big like, oh my god, Luffy's dangerous. And then Holden's like nothing, and Speed is nothing.
Remember the first time, remember the first time, and I know he was like the main villain of the arc, but like it was a lesser degree of like I'm talking about Arlong. Like when Arlong was introduced, like there's this thing about like you walk through a town where like he had literally flipped upside down like every house in the village because like someone had like, I don't know, called him gay or something, I can't remember. And I was like, wow, that's quite physically intimidating and seems really powerful. Now, we're on the Grand Line. We're talking about a headliner of Kaido's crew. I think it's not, like, that level of power seems pretty appropriate, I'd say, for someone who's going to, like, run, some of Kaido's shit. And yet, we haven't seen, like, any of the crew members of Kaido do anything impressive. And I would like to point out, by this time in Whole Cake Island, we had already started, and I think finished the fight with Cracker, which was a pretty big deal, he had to use Gear 4th, he had to, do a whole bunch of stuff. That was a pretty intense fight. So I'm just like, I'm still waiting to be impressed by the beast pirates, I guess is my point.
Yeah, it's perhaps like a distraction.
The most impressive one has been Basil Hawkins, who's not even one of them, so,
Yeah, like, it may have been like a bad idea to call ththese guys headliners when they aren't actually like the highest ranks, because obviously Jack is a higher rank above them, and then there's more. Clearly. There's probably going to be others who are like pure zone fruit beasts that are like strong and stuff, and these are like weird experiments that are like given powers, and they kind of suck, and they kind of fuck you up and make you a freak. But it's you're strong enough to lord over these poor starving people.
I guess Speed doesn't even seem particularly good with her abilities. She hasn't done anything.
Well, I mean, not
yet. Wrecked.
Not wrecked, but like, I like her. She's kind of a brulee right now.
I like her too. I like her too. I can't forget that she is like an important member, relatively speaking, of Kaido's crew. And I'm just like, why? She doesn't seem very impressive.
We don't know much about the rest of the crew, so like the headliners could be like the bitch boys, but like strong.
I suppose.
Yeah. It could be like some other like system for bigger people later.
Okay, this is all fair, and I'm willing to wait for these answers, but I just want to point out that I'm just sitting here waiting for answers. Like, that's where I am with this arc right now. I'm like waiting to be entertained and to understand what's going on.
Last chapter.
Yeah.
I think we had this like, nothing's happening, it sucks.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, we talked about nothing for a long time, and we sucked, so,
Did somebody comment that? Like,
no, I just generally felt like that. We could have wrapped up, like, we went over, the point, belabored it a little bit.
Well, that's every episode of the podcast.
I know, but, like,
fair enough.
When there's nothing to say about something, we don't need to say there's nothing to say about it over and over again. But, like, this chapter has a lot more going on, and there are a few things that do explore, like, the implications. First of all, right here, that we're getting more of an understanding of like Tama's power to it was they throw it into Speed's mouth, or like it looks like Speed just sees it and is like, oh, that looks tasty, and she's like happily eats it, and then she's like completely devoted to Tama for a certain amount of time, I assume. And it's like,
so there's just this issue of like whether or not these will work on humans or animals. There's a little back and forth, and apparently it does seem to at least somewhat work. It doesn't seem to 100% or anything, but
but it's interesting because it's like before it was like I wasn't sure, even though they said it helps tame wild animals. I wasn't sure whether it was just it's tasty and that baboon was hungry.
Yeah.
Or whether it literally tamed him, like, in a special way.
The latter. Yeah.
But now it's like, it is like a power that tames beasts. And now I'm thinking, what if she gives it to Kaido? What if Kaido becomes, like, an ally for 5 seconds, and then they say, hey, punch Big Mom over there. And he's like, okay. And he, like, it just... The idea that this works on beast pirates in a Kaido, in Kaido's beast crew...
Yeah.
Is like this is interesting now.
This is an interesting point. Like maybe her powers will in fact be vital to like the grand scheme to take down Kaido or something. Definitely could be. This seems like a very effective tool. I hadn't really thought about that, but yeah, I sure hope more is done with this. Although, allow me to just remind everyone how convenient it was, if that happens, that she was literally the secret weapon that they used to win was the first person Luffy met. In a completely random situation. Okay.
Well, here's the thing. The people in Wano, right? There's clearly a reason she has this fruit, or like she was like protected by that strange nose guy. And she has this fruit, which happens to be something that can defeat Kaido. It could, potentially with these beasts.
Right. That's the speculation.
And also that most people in Wano don't know what devil fruits are really. And they don't grow on Wano, so like the idea that she found one and ate one seems to be like, it's unlikely that it was an accident, or rather, it was unlikely that she wasn't given it by someone for some purpose.
And I can't remember exactly, but the beast pirates they have kidnapped Tama several times for various reasons, but they do seem very interested in this like beast taming power. So. Yeah, definitely seems like something important's going on here. At least
like initially, it perhaps convenient that he ran across her and she's like really important, but
convenient. Add the reverb to that.
Yeah,
max out the gain.
But it's laying the groundwork for like like she's not just a little girl that is there to be rescued. She's got some major implications, especially since. She, I think, is part of I forget what, is she part of the Kozuki clan?
I believe she is like a servant. But she is related in some
Related,
way.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so like, she's gonna be part of the future with Momonosuke, and it's all like the Wano country. It's a rich tapestry, and it's starting to show the richness of the tapestry. Before it was just sort of like, yeah, I get it. People are dying, people are starving, whatever. And now we're getting some good stuff. I like this chapter.
Well, okay. I personally didn't think it was too different from last chapter, but yeah, whatever. I like the last one more than you, so whatever, fair enough. But let's move along. So they've kind of co-opted Speed here. They fed her a thing. She's working with them. They're stealing her and the treasure ship. And then Tama here has a little flashback and is like, "Wow, you punched that guy with fire, Mr. Luffy, just like you were Ace. Wow." And here's where I think to myself, okay. The whole Ace thing is fine. I like that she likes Ace and remembers him fondly. But let's just not do too much with this. Because, I get it. And I really made peace with the whole Luffy is carrying on Ace's spirit thing and all that stuff, years and years ago. So, it feels really weird for this to, come up now so much later as, all of a sudden Ace is a big deal. I don't want to be too much of an asshole, because, I get that this is just a character who did actually have a connection with Ace, so it makes sense why she would, bring that up and it would be a thing. But for me as the reader, I'm just okay. I'm aware that Red Hawk is, a meaningful attack that was named after Ace, and now, this person cares a lot about that? Okay. I'm over that, but
I think
cool.
It's... I guess it's kind of redundant.
I don't want to be ungrateful.
No, yeah. It is kind of redundant that, the point of this is to make O-tama, get, be happy about Luffy being the guy, and be on his side, because initially she was whatever.
And you know what's weird? I was talking in the chat today. No one, Luffy has not told her that Ace is his brother. And I'm just why? Why would you not... I know Luffy is autistic and just doesn't say things like that for no reason. Even though, it would definitely come up in conversation. What Luffy said about Ace was that he knows him, is what he said. Why would you possibly say that instead of, he's my brother? Why, Luffy, why? And I feel they're setting up for some sort of stupid emotional reveal that I'm already annoyed because I'm already over that. What are you building to, Oda, here? I don't understand why you didn't just present her that information. There's no surprise waiting for us here.
Yeah.
Unless I'm very wrong about something. I don't know.
I can understand
what
why...
If maybe Ace promised to marry her, and there's some Wano thing that happens that's if you die, your brother has to marry your fiance. I don't know. Is that what he's building to? It's going to be a silly love thing. I don't know. I don't know.
I understand. I can see why there wouldn't be a reason to say it. It's just sort of it's irrelevant. It reminds me of sort of the sort of Shanks thing where he doesn't need to say, "Hey, do you know who I am?" When the guy throws a bottle in his face. You don't need to fight. You don't need to grandstand and boast about everything and show that you're a great pirate. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant to the thing.
But this person really likes Ace, and knowing that that's his brother is just relevant to the conversation.
Yeah, but Luffy is the sort of person who would rather just he doesn't think about people in terms of, I need to make this person like me. He's just doing stuff because he I can see why as a character Luffy wouldn't say it, but I also agree.
I cannot.
I also agree that it will be really stupid if that just comes up later and then she's like, "Oh my god, you're like Ace and you're also his brother." Nothing really changed. And
they've had multiple conversations about Ace, so why the fuck wouldn't this be mentioned
the
at
brother
some point?
thing, if it does come up as a reveal, it will be very pointless.
Yes.
Especially
it's
at this point where
up.
when she's like, "Oh, I like you now because you're like Ace."
Yeah.
It's whatever.
What is the goal here of this? I don't understand. Whatever.
I mean, she's hugging him, so it's it might be a romantic thing. And Luffy will be "You're a child."
See, I honestly think so. I honestly think they're going for a silly romantic edge between O-tama, Ace, and Luffy here. Especially with this one of her hugging him and him looking down with a question mark. This is like a big, not a red flag, just like a romance flag, like in one of my galgays, like in one of my gal games, as they say. I don't know. Okay, but anyway, let's move on.
So
look at that guy with the hat. Oh, he's gonna fight that other guy with the eyebrows.
I really like this design. I just like the funny like bucket head, straw bucket on his head.
I think he looks unironically great. This is like, I'm not even doing this as a goof because like, lol, fuck you, Law, hide your face, you piece of shit. No, I literally think he looks cool. And like in this panel, standing here ominously with his weird helmet, he looks really cool, and I like it a lot.
I'll be taking your life. None shall pass. I'm the Black Knight. That's what he is.
He pretty much is the Black. Oh my god! And like he like loses his limbs and is like, I've had worse, because he's got the ope, and he can chop off stuff and put it back together.
Very funny.
That's cool. Very amusing. Now, okay, so fucking Law puts on this disguise. All right.
This is
Immediately, Basil Hawkins says, "Oh, I recognize his tattoos. That's Law." What was the fucking point of the disguise?
It's
Why?
Law didn't really think it through. Like,
God
obviously,
damn you, Law, you stupid motherfucker! Why do you have to have weird tattoos on your hands? You degenerate.
It's not even the tattoos. Like, that power is like very distinct, and he has to use it. So like, of course he's gonna know because he's met him before.
Why did Law come down here without his crew, like alone to fight out? Like, where is his crew right now?
I think, Beppo was like, I drank the water, and the other crew was tending to him or whatever.
But he's got a whole big crew. He's got like 50 people or something.
No, he's got like 5 people we've only ever seen. Like 5
Well, that's
people.
not true. Remember in, it was on Zoe, I think, when we met like the whole crew. There was that big shot of like all of them together. Remember that?
Yeah, the 5 people with faces and the 20 people with no face.
Well, I mean, there was the girl, if you recall. There was a girl. There was the giant guy, and then miscellaneous people, and then Penguin and the other guy.
Was the giant guy the one who was like saved from the slave?
From the auction house, yeah. From the slave. Yep, that's right.
Yeah,
cool.
That's a notable man.
He is.
Anyway,
Jean Bart, I think was his name. Yeah.
So Law does his room, and he's like, Zoro is with them. He knows the plan. I don't think he'll do something stupid like taking down Hold'em. Lol.
Yeah. Epically wrecked.
Seinfeld theme plays.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Very funny.
But before that, sorry, I just want to make sure we don't miss this. It's just that so Law and Hawkins have a little fight, which is cool. Two supernovas fighting. Looks cool. Like, all of Hawkins' boys get taken down instantly, as you'd expect. This is a Shichibukai Law. He's a very strong guy. And Hawkins is surprisingly putting up an okay fight. I'm rather surprised, because he just seems like a pushover, and he, like, uses his minions instead of, like, fighting. I don't know. Like, Hawkins is the kind of guy who gets hit, like, 10 times in a fight and just lets it not matter.
It looks like he's a pushover because he lets himself get hit, but he knows that he's going to be safe. Which is why he doesn't feel the need to dodge. So
I guess I feel bad for his subordinates, though. Sucks for those guys. But whatever. They can get fucked. They don't matter, and they're not cool like him. This is just a cool fight. I like seeing these two supernovas together. It reminds me of the old Shabondy days. And they mention, hey, I haven't seen you since Shabondy. Oh, wait, what is it? Law, I haven't heard that name in years, basically. Also for Hawkins. And it's cool because these are big boys who I like. Except Law, who I don't like, but I like one of them.
Him.
So, okay. Seeing two supernovas together is cool, so I can give him the credit for that. But yeah, whatever. Hold'em, everything's fucked up. Oh no, very bad. And then here comes the treasure ship with all the food.
Well, hang on.
Okay.
They're talking about like the whole like the plan. Like Basil Hawkins. Saw through his disguise. He's already seen the others, and lol, you everything has gone wrong, Law.
Hawkins didn't even need to knock off his helmet. He knew instantly that it was Law. So this was a complete fucking failure.
In a way,
it's
this
kind of
is
funny,
like
I guess.
it is very funny for Law specifically to be like, oh, Like, he even has a little thought bubble, like, I hope this doesn't happen, and then all of the bad things happen one after the other, and then they get the radios, like, Holden was defeated, and that's really bad for Law, and shit. I like it. I like Law getting upset that his plan isn't going well.
I mean, I don't know. He doesn't seem upset in the way that I'd want him to be, like, deeply humiliated. He's just, like... I don't know. I guess it's... I'm not satisfied by the way this is going.
Well,
I don't know.
It becomes funny later when he starts yelling at Zoro and stuff.
And, you know, I guess I'm also feeling... I'm feeling legitimately annoyed at the Straw Hats, just in general. Because in real life, I sympathize way more with characters like Law. Because, like, when you have a plan... You don't want to just fuck up your plan immediately. You want to, like, because it's what you thought was the most likely thing to succeed. This is why we have plans. But then they just immediately destroyed it, and they're just gonna win because combination of luck and Luffy just being strong enough to beat anybody. That's fine, I guess. It's like, but what are we learning here? Don't worry about plans, just win. All right. I mean, I guess that's fine.
I mean, the main thing is like pirates aren't really known for tactical planning and stuff.
That's such bullshit. That's such bullshit, this whole, like, Luffy just is the luckiest. Because real life isn't about being lucky. Real life is about strategy and optimizing your fucking min-maxing your DPS and whatnot.
No, but, like, Luffy does do that. It just does it in his own strange way, where like, he's a simple-minded guy. But when it comes to, like, I need to, like, defeat Katakuri to save my crew, and I need to distract him for long enough, like, that's, like, a calculated thing that he did, knowing that he might die.
I mean, do you remember that Luffy actually said... Oh, well, I mean, okay, that's kind of true, but he also went back and fought Katakuri, not for the safety of the crew, specifically so that he could just, like, be stronger than Kaido and prove himself. It actually would have been much safer if he had just taken Brûlée, escaped the Mirror World, which he had done.
Like,
and,
I mean,
you know.
what I'm saying is that he doesn't do, like, plans all the time. But, like, when it comes down to, like, fighting people, and when it's, like, life or death situation, he will do the right thing, and he will do it well. Like, that's Luffy's strength. It's not really that he's just lucky all the time, but he's, like...
I guess. But, like, look at this situation. They just completely dorked this fucking plan to not let anyone know they were here. Everyone knows they're here now. It's fucking, like... But, you know, to be fair, I don't really know why they need to keep it a secret anyway. I don't know what the point of that was.
Yeah, there's not enough information to know that Law's plan was so important that now that it's ruined, they are all guaranteed dead. All we know is that Jack is probably coming, and that's going to be a tough fight, and they probably would have liked to have a bit more preparation time. But I think that they can take him down. They've got, like, a number of supernovas right here.
I mean, that's true, but, like, it's more about the spirit of the thing, because, like, in a page or two, Law just says, you promised over and over again that you wouldn't do this, but you did anyway. Frankly, that's, like, a shitty friend. That's, like, a shitty ally who does things like that. So, like, I'm not just going to laugh about that. That's, look, I know it's One Piece. I shouldn't take it that seriously. But in the context of, like, assessing how they're doing at, like, keeping to the plan, they're doing really bad. They're doing very, very poorly. And Law didn't do anything wrong. The Straw Hats did things that were wrong.
Well, only Zoro and Luffy are doing things wrong so far.
Okay, fair enough.
Like, the rest of them might be doing their jobs. I mean, Frankie and Robin and, like, and Usopp, I would imagine, are doing what they're supposed to do.
Okay, to be as charitable as possible, and you're right, everyone else is doing everything right, so that's good for them. But to be as charitable as possible, like, nobody expected Tama to get grabbed. And, like, what they're doing now was to save Tama, first and foremost. But it's their fault that Tama got grabbed, because, like, they let Batman snatch her, or whoever it was that took her. So it is on them that these things went down. They should have just kept her, I don't know, safe or something. Okay, but whatever. No need to go into too much. You people get my points.
I think the whole thing about Law being, like planning constantly and getting upset is, like, it's not that his plan is perfect. Mm-hmm. It's just, like, the comedy is that, like, sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes you've got to plan for, like, stupid shit happening sometimes. Like, you can't have everything lined up and go exactly how you want.
I mean, okay, that's true, but I would argue this is a pretty big thing to fuck up. Like they had this plan to sneak in secretly or something. I mean, I don't even know like how they were planning on Luffy sticking to that, other than just like tying him up in a burlap sack or something and not letting anybody see him. So that was kind of a stupid idea anyway. Yeah, I guess I just put myself in Law's shoes. I really do, because I really do think about things in a similar way to Law.
Oh, well, if you're Law and, like, Luffy is Ben Saint appearing late to a PCP or something, like, you would know that, like, after repeated, like failings, that you should plan around Ben Saint defeating Hold'em, you know, and messing up the plan.
I guess at a certain point, if you continue to work with someone who's like unreliable and like constantly fucks up plan, the fault is really more on you than on them if you choose to keep working with them and depending on them. So, you know, fair enough. I think doesn't make them less of assholes, though.
I think Law just, you know, appreciates that they, you know, the Straw Hats are strong enough that even when a plan goes wrong, they can hold together, and that's why he continues to be in an alliance with them. He knows
true.
they can do things when, you know, they need to. But it's annoying that they're kind of stupid.
I just wouldn't want to celebrate idiocy or failure, like in the way that the Straw Hats have done here today. I would want them to be appropriately condemned for their failure. And that's what I'm doing here. And they deserve to be condemned. At least Zoro and Luffy for fucking up.
They do sometimes, but not this time. It's not initial, like right now. It's a happy time, but they may pay for it later.
I mean, when Jack shows up, I want, like, I'm ready for things to get real. Things have not been real enough this arc. I want our characters to get punished, because that's what makes it good.
Oh yeah, like if they don't get punished at any point, then the whole idea of Kaido being a Yonko is kind of laughable.
We need Jack to be here and seriously fuck this place up. That's what I want. They have really built up Jack a lot. We saw what he did.
Like the whole thing with like all of like Big Mom's crew coming to fight Luffy and Nami.
That was good. That was real good.
That was like, there's no way. Like, even if Luffy is the strongest boy of all time, that's a whole crew of super powerful Yonko pirates. Yeah, like there needs to be like an unwinnable situation like that. Jack on his own, maybe not, but if there's like a bunch of them...
Luffy beat Katakuri, who I think is a higher bounty than Jack, so I'm not even worried about... Like, I think Luffy can definitely beat Jack one-on-one at this point. So, yeah, I think Jack is... I'm going to check. Jack, One Piece. I think it was exactly 1 billion, but I think it was 1 billion and 50, like some meme like that. Oh, no, okay, it was exactly 1 billion. So Luffy's got 1.5 billion, and he beat, you know, Katakuri, who was over 1 billion. So, yes, I know bounties don't mean power levels, but, like, Luffy's strength in this world is the ability to win one-on-one fights with big, strong guys. So, I think, frankly, I'm not that worried about it. That's how I feel.
All right.
Yeah, okay, moving on.
Yeah, moving on. They get the food, and they bring it to Okobore Town.
As predicted.
Yes, and they're going to feed all the people. One thing I want to note, you got on the bottom right of this double-page spread.
Oh my god!
This lady who is crying.
Holy shit! I just saw that.
Holding a knife, and there's a noose in the frame as well with an old lady. And it's like, is she going to kill herself and her child? And is the grandma going to hang herself because they can't eat? And the guy opening the door is like, wait, don't kill yourselves. There's food. Like, what is it to be implied here other than that? Why is she holding the knife?
100% what's being... She's about to murder her baby because they are starving to death. That is 100% what is being implied by that panel.
It's just... wow. That's a pretty fucking dark image to just throw in there.
Yeah, it really fucking is. This should be like the main... Like, this is by far the most dramatic thing that's happened in all of Wano, and it gets one tiny side panel. I mean,
it's almost comical, the fact that there's a knife and also a noose right there.
You know, that's very dark, but I feel like that's honestly just really played for laughs, completely. Like, they're just making light of the fact that anyone would even think of doing this. And I'm laughing too.
Imagine,
very
just
funny.
Like 5 seconds later, it's like that you killed the baby.
Oh, dude, I'm about to spoil a great movie. For everybody. If you've ever seen the movie The Mist, the end of The Mist, if you don't want to hear it, leave for a minute. It's like this, whatever, like aliens from another dimension show up or whatever, and the guy at the end, like, he's got his little crew, everybody else has died, it's been a complete clusterfuck of a day, and at the end, he's got a gun with 3 bullets, and in the car is him, like his old buddy, his lady friend, and his son. So what he does is, and they all agree to this, because there's no way out, the dad, kills his 2 friends and his son, and then, because he's out of bullets, walks out to let the monsters kill him, and then right as he does, immediately, like, the army rolls up to, like, save everyone, right after he did it.
Oh.
And, it's, like, the most fucked up, and he just starts... he's deeply, he finds it very fucking funny, as you might expect.
Yeah, he's, like, sick.
It was pretty sick. Okay, spoilers over. I don't know how this would work. You wouldn't be able to tell, but there it is.
Maybe you could do spoilers by just not saying the movie's name, so people don't even know.
You know, that's probably a decent idea.
Because it doesn't really matter what movie it is.
That's true.
That is very funny.
But hey, here they are, people. They got the ship. They got the food. Everyone's eating. Yay, cool.
Yeah, and then we got some of the beast pirate guys. What were the lower rank guys called? They're not headliners. They're
card boys. I don't remember. I'm gonna look it up while you keep going.
Right. Well, they are like, oh shit, guys, don't eat the food. Oh, like for some reason they're not enacting their power over them. I guess there's too many people scrambling for too much food. But then Luffy,
they're called gifters. It's called gifters.
Gifters. Yeah. Luffy crushes them with a big thing of water, so they're all out for the count, dead.
That's a big barrel of water.
That's a big. That's like a boat of water.
That's very strange, but I like it.
And then Luffy does it like completely the opposite of what Law would want. Is like say like, hey, my name's Luffy, and if anyone asks, just tell them that I'm here and I saved everyone.
I feel like at this point he's doing it deliberately. Like, he's just trying to fuck with Law. Like, he did not need to do this. He just chose to go out of his way to publicize his involvement. And you know what? This is cool. Like, Luffy is clearly, like, becoming a hero of Wano. Like, that's definitely the arc that's happening now.
I like it. Cool. I like it because it's going to be like, after they leave, people are going to sing the praises of Luffy Taro. And it's, you know, I prefer the way that Luffy just makes a big scene and then everybody remembers him, because that's exactly the sort of like legendary figure that the Pirate King would eventually be, like somebody that everybody has heard of.
That's true.
In like whispers and legends and myths and
don't
get
stories. Me wrong. I love, there's something obviously charismatic and impressive about Luffy's attitude and his approach to life. That he's so bombastic and sure of himself and not afraid and, you know, just does what he feels like all the time, like a Kamina. So, of course, I can get that. But I really feel like in real life, like, Law's Rasu's just, like, do better in the real world. So that's where my mind goes when I see things like that. Like, why isn't Luffy dead? Luffy should have been assassinated. How did he beat Katakuri? Blah, 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 you know, all this bullshit. But whatever, don't worry about it. He should have been executed by Buggy that one time, unless he was saved by fucking Dragon at the last moment. Otherwise, it was a complete, literal Deus Ex Machina. But whatever, it's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So here we go. He's a happy hero boy.
He gives O-tama an apple, and that's a shiny apple. It's good. Everybody's happy.
Looks good. And Luffy specifically comments on how this is repayment for what Tama did to him. So this is that little intro arc coming full circle of Luffy being a hungry boy, and this I like this feels like the end of Act 1 of Wano, which I'm very happy to see. Yeah. I think next chapter, I want Jack to show up like next chapter with like a hard everyone's dead, just a hard transition to everyone being dead. And then we can truly be in Act 2 where things get way better.
It's definitely like a good setting for like a big bad thing to happen. Like they've got all this food, but Okobori town isn't that far away from the place they were just at.
Yeah, it's right next door, yeah.
So like these people aren't going to be, you know, happy for that long. And something's going to go down.
I'm reading I didn't understand what Basil, I think he was saying to the thing, or he was hearing from them. It's true, Hold'em and his forces messed up. However, he had to deal with 3 troublesome people. Even if I had been there, I wouldn't have been able to. So he's saying if he had been there, like, he wouldn't have stopped Luffy.
All right, he wouldn't have been able to stop. Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to stop Luffy and Zoro and Law. Like,
it is funny, by the way, that the lion is conscious in Hold'em and is like, let me up. But Hold'em's unconscious still. Pretty funny. Pretty epic.
Now I'm wondering if, like, Tama gave the lion or Hold'em one of the things, and then Hold'em was like, oh, I'll do anything you want for more of that.
That's, probably. I mean, at least to a degree, I'd say.
This is like almost like Nami with the Vivre card, sort of like, ooh, what a trump card we have here.
Yeah, kinda. It seems like a pretty effective fucking ability in this place with these enemies.
Speaking about samurai, OP, Nomi, you know.
Oh, yes, understood.
So yeah,
and here we get the big statement about what the fucking point of this arc is, as we all knew. I'm Luffy, I'm going to be Pirate King, and I'll make sure that by the time we leave this country, it'll be a place where you can eat until you're full every day. So there you go. Official food arc.
Yes.
Go. There it is.
It was very heavily implied that would happen, but now we're getting a statement from Luffy, so now we get it. We get what he's going to be doing.
And of course, little Tama gets another, she's thinking about little Ace. She's going to be flicking her bean hardcore tonight, or flicking her dongo. Whatever it is, whatever the case may be for this freak, thinking about, how sexy Ace and Luffy is.
It's funny how, like, he says the exact same sentence that Ace said.
That's why I'm like, Oda, would you... 2 words. Oda, relax. Relax on the whole Ace shit, dude. Like, we get it. She remembers Ace. Luffy is like Ace 2.0. No, he's better. He's sexier. He's cooler than Ace ever was. All right, fine, I get it. Please stop. At this point, it's fine. Like, it's fine, but just please don't make this a thing. Like, every fucking chapter with the reminders about Ace, I remember. I don't need this pushed in my face every 2 seconds. I think you already did this once this chapter.
Yeah.
I mean, I get it's like the end of this little mini arc thing. So
Other than Ace was at Wano and he learned how to make a straw hat, is there any connection to Wano that Ace has, like, previously shown that could be explored in any way? Or is it just that Luffy's here and the person who remembers Ace will, now likes Luffy?
I mean, in this arc, we see Tama remember that, like, Ace promised he would come back and help. Like, that's something.
Yeah, and now Luffy's coming back to help.
Obviously, Luffy is the one, like, blah, 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 inherited will. Okay, great, got it. In fact, that's actually great, and I'm really happy to see that. I think it's a great use of Ace's character. But I really don't want Ace to, like, haunt the rest of this fucking manga. Like, frankly, it's been great up to this point. Ace's involvement in the narrative since the time skip, which is to say, very minimal. But, like, he's important. Luffy ain't gonna forget that shit. He's an important motivator when it comes to Blackbeard and Luffy's desire to, fight back against injustice and stuff. That's all great. That's all totally great. But I'm feeling a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of Ace in one chapter.
I don't think it's... If it stops here, then it'll be okay. But if it ever comes up again, it'll be like, okay, you've said that 3 times in one chapter. You don't need to say it again.
I mean, even if it comes up a lot, like, fair enough. Just like, do it tastefully. And don't make, like, Luffy say, like, literally the exact same words that... It's like, that's... Relax, Oda. It's fine.
I mean,
we get it.
I'm thinking it might be less goofy in Japanese if he says the same... Like, if it's like
maybe.
Like a common way you would say something like this. Because this is not a sentence you would ever say. And the fact that it's exactly the same... It would sound goofy in English, but I don't know whether it would sound goofy in Japanese. So I'm whatever.
Okay, fair. I'm really not like I'm painting things like I'm only painting about like fears that it'll like get uncomfortable. But right now, it's fine. It's not a big deal.
It's good.
Okay.
And then we get the lead into the next chapter where they're gonna go. Law is going to take them to the Spooky Mountain to see the ghosts of Wano country.
It's the wreckage of Odin Castle where the Kozuki clan ruled over Wano in the olden days. And wasn't there was a thing that was said about like a moving castle, right? Did we talk about that in another chapter? What was the deal?
Howl's moving castle?
You know what? Literally forget that because I can't remember, so don't worry about it. Someone in the comments can say it if it's important. But yeah, they're going to where Odin Castle was, and
there's
ghosts.
And they've got Kozuki Odin, Kozuki Momonosuke, Retainer Kinemon, Retainer Kanjuro, Retainer Raizo, and then 1, 2, 3 that we can't read.
Just so,
these are characters we know are alive. So I'm wondering what the ghosts mean.
And of course, that's an excellent question. Now I forget who said it, but we have been told that Momonosuke, whose grave we do see here, we've been told that Odin, his dad, is dead. Is what we've been told. Now. The phrasing here is very interesting. Law says you're going to meet the ghosts of the Wano country. Now, he could be speaking sort of one way metaphorically and saying like, you're going to meet like the retainers of the Kozuki clan, which includes, guys like Kinemon, who we've met in the past, Raizo, those guys, etc. That painting guy who could draw really shitty. You'll meet them and like the other people from the Kozuki clan. Or another way, also. This is more literal, but also metaphorically, I think. Maybe he means Odin himself is actually alive. And especially since we're seeing these gravestones of people we know are alive, and the most prominent one is Kozuki Odin, it may be that we have been lied to deliberately and told that Odin was dead as because it's like a huge secret that they're like not allowed to speak the truth on. Maybe it's like that thing in Islam where you're like allowed to lie to the non-believers or something in order to bring them into the fold or whatever, whatever that thing's called. That's a real thing. That's a real thing, everybody. But anyway, maybe maybe he's alive is the point. And either way, Odin is a fascinating character who was a member of Gold Roger's crew, sailed with him to the ends of the worlds, and I think witnessed the truth of the world with Rayleigh and Gold Roger and those guys.
Well, all right. We
don't know for sure.
When did we learn that Odin was dead? What character told us?
I believe it was on Zoe, I think.
So the cat and the dog, they were on the crew with him.
Yes, that's
Roger.
Correct. That's correct.
Why would they lie about that then when they eventually showed Raizo?
Oh, I don't know. It might just be not a lie, and they were in fact totally true. That's totally.
Well, the thing
possible.
I'm thinking of is the whole getting the heir to the throne, like the true heir and all that, dethroning the current emperor to get the proper emperor on. Odin being alive would mean he'd need to die, because the whole thing would probably be Momonosuke taking the throne and being the guy. Like, if his dad is still alive and his dad gets to the throne, it would be like...
Sure, yeah.
It would just be an implication that Momonosuke would get in power eventually, and that's fine, I guess. I don't know what to think yet.
In the world where the story is written that Kozuki Odin is alive, it absolutely undercuts Momonosuke's arc, which is a strong reason why I think that he's probably not alive, and he probably is in fact just dead. And what I think what's most likely is they're just speaking about other members of the Kozuki clan are here, but are said to be dead in Wano country and Wano Kuni.
Yeah, maybe all of these graves are just to let the current evil emperor think that everyone is dead.
Yes, that's what I think.
When in fact most of them are alive.
Yep, that's exactly what I think.
Also, I'm interested about the graves. The three Kozukis. Mm-hmm. We got the leader, the father figure boy at the front. We got the son. Mm-hmm. And then the one in the back, which is behind the retainers, you see...
Yes, there's another Kozuki there. Could be a wife, could be a daughter.
I'm imagining it's a wife, because then it would be females are lesser, and they're even below, retainers. Haha.
I mean, yeah,
Get
I suppose
fucked.
so. That's all true. That's definitely true and all, but... and actually, here's another fact. Notice that Odin, Momonosuke, and that other one have little hats on their stones, and the retainers do not. Maybe that's family ties sort of thing.
Family things, yes.
Yeah. You don't get a hat in Japan unless you're a real cool guy. All those guys in the rice paddies wearing their big old, straw hats, those guys are actually fucking lit. That's it. That's what I have to say about the subject. Any other comments to make? Any other points to make about the chapter?
No, I like this chapter. It's good.
I think it was very good. This ending is actually really good, and it's got me intrigued. I can't wait to get into Act 2 of Wano. I did think, I feel comfortable kind of assessing Act 1 of Wano. Kind of boring. There was like zero, tension. Like things just happened and that was fine. Hawkins was there. That was kind of cool. We saw more of his power. We learned that it was a devil fruit. I mean, suspected that, but now we know a little bit more about it. I give it like I don't know. Give it like a 5 out of 10. But that's for One Piece. So that's quite good.
Yeah. I only really think there's like 3 of the chapters. I give it
4 out of 10, actually. I'll probably give it 4 out of 10.
3 of these chapters since like 9, 10 have been like kind of lame, but most of them are good. Like I like it overall.
There's something we say it every time. Like it's always great to come back every week and read One Piece, but when you're somebody fucking pinged me and told me there was a particular name for these kind of chapters. It was like a setup chapter or I don't know, whatever. It doesn't matter. Oh, I just killed a mosquito. Hell yeah. Irrelevant to this point, but whatever. Doesn't matter. It was pretty good. I'm glad to be moving on. Please make interesting things happen. Luffy's now united with Law. He's got Zoro. We've got this Tama girl who seems important. He's got allies and friends. We're well established.
We got O-kiku, the big old bitch.
Yeah, who I think is going to be important. Possibly a princess. Who knows? We'll see. And I don't know. We still need to meet the main villains of the arc. We really have not met the big boys. We know Kaido, but we haven't seen him. We haven't met Orochi. We need to know a little bit more about the organization here.
Orochi's gonna be cool.
Oh, you know who we haven't seen? We haven't seen what happened to any of the other Straw Hats who washed up with Luffy.
Yeah,
they're somewhere. They're doing something, I'm sure.
Smash cut to all of them dead.
Washed on the rocks, just destroyed. That'd be good. That'd be pretty funny. All right, well, maybe we'll find out next week, because, it says there's maybe a chapter next week, so I'll expect to see one then, Odin.
Odin.
Oh, shit.
We cracked the code.
I wonder if there's going to be, like, a thing there, where it's like
Dude, Lord Odin is a panda. That's what it is.
I'm just gonna go out on a limb here and say wild speculation that I have no reason to believe, but I choose to believe is true, that Odin is going to be a lot like Shanks, and he's like a laid-back, cool kind of guy who loves to party down, but he's also honorable, and he's going to be like a self-insert character for Oda. This is my prediction, and we'll see. We know that Shanks already is, basically. Said that Shanks is the one most like him, at least early on in One Piece. That might have changed, but whatever. Like, how many times has Oda snuck into, like, the UN head room and had an audience with the gods of our world? Hillary Clinton,
That's all.
Hitler, just, yeah. Oh, right, just her. She is Eam, Hillary. There's no elections, there's no need. We know that she deserves to rule.
Yeah.
All right, well, that about sums it up. We'll see you next week, hopefully, everybody, if there's a new chapter. And have a good time, as always.
Well, before you say goodbye, we gotta say go to our Patreon.
You're absolutely right.
And pledge some doubloons.
Patreon.com/thepodcastpirates. Give us money.
And give us money. You can get into the secret, the plethora of secret chats in our Pod D Discord.
It's a cutthroat capitalist hierarchy, and I'll just tell you the highest one is $20 a month. Get in there with the rest of the commanders: Admiral Bones, Eam the Soyest Boy, AFY, Afy-kun as it likes to be known, and all the rest. Those are the ones who are online. If you're offline right now and you're a commander, you get cucked. So yeah, come join us. And you can join for free. We are charitable in the main chat. Just click the link to the Discord down below. Come hang out with us and talk about One Piece and shit.
Talk about One Piece and be fucking stupid. That's what we like to do.
That's pretty much it. All right, but get into our NSFW chat, Robin's Dick, for just $1. That's my favorite chat in the whole... I'm so proud of that name. All right, that's it, everybody. We'll see you next time. Have a good night. Bye.
Goodbye.
Good call on the remembering to shill. I forgot.
I'm supposed to be sailing right now. I'm supposed to be sailing right now, but I'm not sailing because we're sinking.
Oh no, there's a hole in the ship side. We're gonna drown now.
Wait, I have water.
There we go.
Very funny.